And we're back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our fifth and final segment, which is going to be talking about Jose Abreu and his release by the Houston Astros. So let's get into it. So this is not something that. Sorry about that. Oops, that is the alarm from my last segment to make sure I didn't go over. So sorry about that. But yeah, with Jose Abreu, this is not something that I would take as a surprise here. The Astros releasing him. It's been clear that this is the motive that would this is what would happen eventually at some point. Would the Astros just have enough balls to do it? And they eventually did, and they ended up releasing him. So Jose Abreu, of course, was signed to one of the biggest contracts in Astros franchise history, free agent contracts, I should say, getting a 3-year deal worth around $60 million. And yeah, did pretty horrible the first year of it. Did better the second half, so there was hope for him, but just did not continue that this year. It was so bad that he eventually got sent down to single A, and was really, really just horrible. So very unfortunate with him how the contract ended up. He was so bad that the Astros are now going to eat around $30 million of his guaranteed contract just to get him off the team. And to put in perspective how bad he was, he has a weighted runs created plus of 3. Yes, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. That's his weighted runs created plus. That's just absolutely horrible. Again, weighted runs created plus for that stat, which is my favorite hitting stat. An advanced stat, but not really. The league average is 100, so he was 97% below average. He's been horrible with the Astros, just an absolute disaster of a signing, and it was the right move for the Astros to move off him, and I didn't think they would actually, but props to them for admitting when they're wrong, and they were wrong, and props to Jim Crane for letting his ego aside and releasing Abreu, and I think it's best for both sides that they would end up moving on, and yeah, just that's kind of it, so. It'll be interesting now to see how they fill out Abreu's spot on the team. It'll seem like Joey Loperfido, I'm not sure if I pronounced that name right. If I'm not, I apologize, but he was the guy that filled in while Abreu was rehabbing in single A to get his swing back, and he seems like the youngest answer they have at first base. Also, John Singleton, of course, who is more of a platoon bat, but should take a lot more reps now at first base. Those two guys, I think, will end up being the main guys who fill in at first base. Again, the Astros are not losing much. This is not MVP Jose Abreu. This is bad Jose Abreu 2024. He's been horrible, and that's just kind of it. So very unfortunate the way it ended. Abreu's always been a really nice guy, just a great not face of baseball, but just a really great guy within baseball. Everyone talks about him as being such a great leader, as a great guy, and it's unfortunate that it ended this way. I would think that this is the end of his MLB career. I don't think any team is going to pick him up, maybe except the White Sox, which we'll talk about after. But yeah, kind of unfortunate way to end. But hey, he got his money, so good for him, I guess. But yeah, it was time for the Astros to do this move. Again, it's not like he had 5 years left. He had 2. He had a year and a half, actually. So it's not like the money they're releasing him for is going to significantly hinder the franchise within the future. Does it hurt? Yes, it definitely does. I mean, it's not, you would have, of course, preferred to trade him. I don't think anyone was taking that contract. But yeah, he's been really, really bad. And it was just time to move on from this contract for the Houston Astros. And it was very unfortunate the way it ended out, but just sad that contract with so much promise ended like this. I was never a big fan of this contract, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought 3 years to an older first baseman like Abreu was a lot, especially at the AAV he was at, which is around 20 if I remember correctly. So never a big fan, but I did not expect it to go this poorly. I kind of just thought he would be okay, kind of mediocre, but being this horrible was never really what I thought would happen. So yeah, overall, not a great contract by Abreu. Not a great contract by the Astros to be able, and ended up signing him. So unfortunate there, and that's kind of it for it. But very, very unfortunate there with how this ended up. But again, the impact on the team shouldn't be that big. I think they're just going to end up replacing him internally with a guy like Loperfido or John Singleton. I guess they could look to trade for a first baseman. If they really want to go all in, they could trade for Pete Alonso, I guess, but that would kind of be extreme. But the other thing I wanted to talk about with this was that apparently they're trying to buy at the deadline. According to John Heyman, they're just not giving up, and they want to buy at the deadline and acquire 2 starting pitchers. I think that's a bad decision. I think at this point you kind of just have to realize this isn't your year and trade some players, trade expiring players. I think Bregman should be traded, and I understand that you're the Astros. You kind of have a lot of pride of being this elite team, but I don't think they can get to starting pitchers that are significant enough of ceiling raise at this point with the prospect capital they have with what's out there in the market. So yeah, just not a fan of this decision to be able to buy at the deadline. I think that overall wouldn't be a great decision, but I understand because you have so much talent. But yeah, I think releasing Abreu shows they're not going to stay complacent, at least, which is good. They're at least going to make a move, whether that's buying or selling, and that's the best thing. I think the worst thing the Astros could have done was just doing nothing and hoping the team would get better. I don't think that was going to happen. So I like that they did take initiative and release Abreu, even with the amount of cap that it is going to hurt. So yeah, going back to Abreu a little bit. It would be fun to see him end back up with the White Sox just for maybe next year, for either the end of this year or next year. The White Sox have nothing going for them. Might as well bring back a franchise icon who will most certainly have his number retired there. Won an MVP there, was a great player there, and can be a mentor as well to your younger team. So should be exciting, and would like to see that. I just don't think it would happen. So, but overall with the Astros, I still think they have a lot of talent. It's just not working out for them this year, whether that's injuries, underperformance, whatever. The AL West is also pretty good, with the Mariners doing really well. Rangers potentially getting some injured players back, keep injured players back, so that should help. But overall, I like this move. You couldn't stay complacent, and it was time to move on from Abreu. Unfortunate for him, but yeah, it was So Rodon is a really good player in the MLB. Just I think he and everyone else, especially Astros fans, would like to forget this tenure he had in Houston. So that is the show for today, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to not only get notified when I upload, but when all the other great content creators on this channel do. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. There's a video here if you want to watch more content from me, and another one there if you want to watch more content from me. If you're watching after live and you're watching this as a segment or a repeat of the live show. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. It's a beautiful day outside. Enjoy it. And we'll see if baseball throws at us over the weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. So thank you so much, and bye.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to